typically, yeah, guys, now we're live and live. I apologize. Guys, this is Moose Reed, sales director over at Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants. Guys, I know that typically at this time, we do sales training every Tuesday. I'm lucky to have Lance Custen on with me, the CEO of Realty.com. Today, we're going to go pretty deep into the real estate business. We're going to talk about some of the downsides that we've seen in 2023 and how you guys can increase your production for 2024. So, Lance, thanks so much for joining me. Excited to have you, man.
Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate it. It's great to be here, and happy to be a partner here with Sphere Rocket, and I'm looking forward to giving some insights with you guys.
Absolutely, yeah, Lance. As we were just talking backstage a little bit, we've been crossing a lot of the same paths for the last multiple years, right? So I'm glad that we can finally partner together and do a lot of business together moving forward. Excited to see how we can help each other out. So. For those of you, I'm sure most of you who are on this call know Realty.com, especially our clients who are in EXP. They have some of the biggest EXP agents in the world as clients. So for those of you who are not familiar with Realty.com, Lance, introduce yourself, tell them who you are, tell them a bit about Realty.com, and we can start there.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll give you a list history on myself. I'm the founder and CEO of Realty.com. I started Realty.com about 8 years ago from an idea. I'm the former CEO of a company called HostGator. Sold that company. We were the largest privately held web host ever sold. Hosted 7 million websites. And actually we had users all over the world and companies all over the world. So I have a lot of experience using virtual assistants and different things like that. So I respect a lot what Sphere Rocket does. They're an amazing company. So, and then after we sold HostGator, ended up founding Realty.com and building it as a company where the city is your website. Every single individual city in America is an individual agent website. And what that said is that means that you get unlimited leads, you get unlimited ISA support from us, you get unlimited everything. And what we do is the city is your website, and we create seller leads, we create buyer leads, and then we do everything we can to warm them up, get them over to you, coach and train you, and get the deals closed. Pipelining takes time, we all know that, but what we do is we help move them through the funnel.
I love that. I love that you guys segment by territory. Everyone else who I've met in the lead providing space, right, doesn't segment by territory. They just say, hey, here's the leads, and you're going to get them. 100 agents in Vero Beach are going to get leads from X companies. So how have you guys found that to be beneficial for your org?
It's really beneficial. Using one agent per city, it makes it so we build a relationship based on success, loyalty, collaboration, and conversion. And basically, it upsets a lot of other people where just like, hey, I can't buy this city, it's already taken. But we've got tens of thousands of cities still available on Realty.com. We've only been publicly selling for about a year. We don't really have a huge outbound sales team. What we do is we try to partner with people who come to us. So with that said is that we're looking for the best of the best. If you want to convert, if you want to build a pipeline, if you want to be with us as we grow nationally, and we do national relationships with partners all over the country, we're a great place to be. If you want to be coached, we've got some of the best coaches in the industry. If you want us, if you want to have ISA delivered leads, or you want to work the lead yourself, like everywhere, everything you can think of, we can do as being a Realty.com partner.
And when you were at the CEO of HostGator, Lance, you mentioned that this was sort of just an idea in the background. How did you transition from the idea of HostGator to this? What was the trigger to spark the idea?
I had retired at the time after I sold HostGator, and I'd worked for the Endurance International Group for a few years over as an SVP. For fun, I got my real estate license, and basically I had a small team, and I was buying leads everywhere, and they just weren't converting. So I wanted to buy a large area and be able to tell people I own a city, I own all of this. And I called up, the big Z, and with calling them up, they told me $150,000 a month would be to buy every lead in Boca Raton, and they were just impressions at the time. And no guarantee of conversion, no guarantee of everything. I'm just like, well, what if I start up a portal and just do one agent per city? The agent can talk about it. I own it. I'm the exclusive agent in that town. And basically, that's where the idea came up. So I bought the company Realty.com, built a nationwide brokerage from the ground up. And now we've got great agents like Veronica Figueroa and Kyle Whistle and Cliff Freeman, and then tons and tons of smaller teams too, where we've changed their life. Like Joseph Kipping in Tampa, he started as a husband and wife team. Now he's closed 250 deals with us and has a 15 agent team. So what I'm about is really changing lives and helping them along the way. But agents need to have accountability. They need to pick up the phone. They need to know how to prospect. They need to be able to convert a lead. They need to be patient because in this market, leads take time.
Yeah, Lance, I think you said something that's really intriguing. With a lot of lead providers I've talked to, right? They struggle to realize the difference between impressions and leads, right? MQLs versus SQLs. I'm really curious from the Realty.com standpoint. How do you define a lead versus an impression?
Basically, a lead is somebody so an impression is somebody who's just gone to the website, looked at the website, didn't enter in any information. A lead could be one of many things with us, but the two are someone that comes in, they save a home, they favorite a home, they request a showing, or they request a cash offer to sell their home. So a lead counts when they give you name, email address, phone number at minimum, or we get name, email address, phone number, property address, reason for selling, when they're looking to sell, all that good stuff too. So lead could be anything from the three simple, hey, I'm starting my home search, here's my name, email, and phone number, give me a call, I'm going to start saving properties, or all the way to 15 key points, getting all the way down to the reason I want a cash offer or to sell my home.
Yeah. So someone who's truly raised their hand, they've submit some type of application. You can lead quantify at some level. I would call it at Sphere Rocket lead scoring, right?
Correct.
That's awesome. I feel like as people are starting their career, whether it's in real estate or any type of sales world, right? They're just like, oh, all I need is people to talk to, right? And that's not the case. You need a true lead. You need somebody who has raised their hand. So,
Correct.
so that's awesome. What are you seeing? You have access to a lot of data, Lance.
I do.
Right? What are you seeing in 2023 and 2024? What are you seeing common trend wise?
We saw the big slowdown in 2023 versus 2022 just like everybody else did. But we're seeing in 2024 it's starting to pick up. Rates have come down a little bit, not much. They've come down a little bit, but people are starting to move, and we've seen more and more deals get conversion. But this is the advice I give to anyone that if you don't have a 9 to 12 month pipe, don't buy leads. If you're going to buy leads from anyone, if you're going to be a partner with anyone, if you get coaching or training from anyone, figure if you get 100 leads from anyone but the Z, 60 of them are looky-loos, 30 of them are 2 years out, and 10 of them are good. Out of those 10, you get a hold of about 5 to 6. Out of those 5 to 6, if you close one, you pay your bills, you're in good shape. If you close 3 to 5, you're in the money and you love us. So that's kind of where I see it, is that I saw in 2022 leads converting at about 5 to 6%. Now here to 2023, I saw 1 to 3%. I'm hoping for 2024 to be a 2 to 5% year.
And that 5 to 6% and that 1 to 3%, right? What's the timeline? What's the average transaction of lead being assigned to a real estate agent to conversion?
I say somewhere between 6 to 9 months. Some of them are a lot sooner. We have people that get deals under contract in a week. We have people that, a great example is Trisha Turner in Houston. She had her first closing with us 3 weeks in, which is amazing. And we've had other people too. We had someone in Miami too, just had a really, really quick listing in their first week. And Ari Lopez out in north of Houston, she also had a one week first listing in her first week. But I always say budget 6 to 9 months because but you plan for the storm, you hope for the best. And if you've got that early conversion, well, that's all just bonus for you basically. And that's with accountability, coaching, calling the phones, picking up the phones, picking up your warm transfers. You got to do your job. You've got to nurture these people. You've got to, especially using someone like Sphere Market to, go through your database and keep things, in line and tracking and proper stuff. Working with a company like yours makes it so they can focus on working with the client and basically, getting in the car, going in person and spending as much time with the client as possible.
Yeah. Lance, so many agents, right, when they're on the starting end of starting to purchase leads, right, they're looking for that. I always use the comparison, right? They're looking for the pill that will make them skinny, right, without doing the push-ups and the sit-ups, right? But there's real estate agents, even in 2023, right? The Figueroas, they closed a ton of business, right? The Kyle Whistles of the world, they closed a ton of business. What's the difference between the Figueroas, the Whistles, et cetera, who are closing business every single day, and the guys who are just looking to take the pill and hope they get skinny overnight from it? You know what I mean?
So it's just like you, I get exposure to the best teams in the industry, like the Whistles of the world and the Figueroas of the world. It's time and dedication. Veronica Figueroa didn't do 2,200 deals because she was vacationing and hanging out. last year. She did 2,200 deals in the biggest team in EXP and probably one of the biggest in the country because of her follow-up, because of her dedication, because of the way she drives customers, because of the way her processes and procedures, because of her back-end support system, because of all those things that she does, and the discipline that she has, and the discipline that Tony has, and Tony and Veronica running that team together. The basic way to put it is it's time, discipline, dedication, and follow-up.
Yep. Guys, and if you guys come to my sales training every single week, you know that I've worked in a lot of different industries, right? There's no sales industry in the world where it's just you take the magic pill and all of a sudden you start converting deals, right? There's no level of salesmanship. I hate the idea that that there's sales trainers who say, oh, if you would have increased your tonality by saying hello instead of hello when you answer the phone, you would have gotten the deal. That's just not the truth of the matter, right? The truth of the matter is, are you staying in front of your prospects? If today is not the time to buy, are you in front of your prospects for 9 months? Are you in front of your prospects for 6 months so that when the time is right for them to buy, that they will start purchasing, right? Now, Lance, I know that you mentioned you hope that 2024 conversions are going to start to increase. What's giving you that indicator? Is it just rates dropping?
It's not just rates dropping. It's more sellers coming onto the platform, more people working, asking for cash offers, more people looking for home valuations, and then it's just pipelining. A lot of the thing is that a lot of our agents were calling the leads, we're ISAing the leads, we're transferring them back, and now the leads that all came in last year when we first publicly started selling, those people are now like, well, it's been a year, rates haven't dropped too much, but I got to make a move, and a lot of people that sat last year. This year, they're like, I got to do something now. So it's a lot of people that just have cabin fever. And as soon as the rates drop a little bit, I think it's going to be a flood to the market.
Are you seeing, because you guys segment by territories, are you seeing agents leaving territories and saying, hey, I'm closing up shop. I'm calling it a game in this real estate business. I played that game. Are you seeing more territories opening up? Are you seeing top agents like the Figueroas starting to double down on their lead gen? What are you seeing?
I've seen, the top agents are doubling down, and then the agents that are giving up, they're just exiting the industry, going to get like a W-2 job, or just, completely exiting, even retiring. We have agents that are like, I've been doing this 20 years. It's slowed down enough. I'm retiring now. But the good agents like Cliff Freeman and Kyle and Gary Ashton and all the other ones are doubling down now. You know why? Because now that they're doubling down, because things are becoming available, they're going to eat their competition for breakfast, because now they're now going to grab the market share that these other people had and just become that much larger.
Yeah, it's so funny that you mentioned this. I was at a Tom Ferry event 2 weeks ago, Lance, right? And they mentioned the same exact thing. Right? They said that people are either going to leave the market or people will double down. The people who leave the market, they're going to, I use this example all the time, so I hope it's not offensive to anyone who's listening. My wife is a teacher, but they're going to go and teach third grade public school and say, hey, I'm calling it a game, right? But the ones who are sticking around, they realize that this is an opportunity to go and grab market share, right? Start doubling down on your market, building the pipeline. Yes, it might not mean a transaction today, but it might mean in 6 months from now. So it's really interesting that you mentioned that, Lance.
Yeah, because even with us, when you buy a city with Realty, we're partners. Like, say you buy a city and it comes with like 50 leads. And let's say that month, we're doing national advertising. This happens almost with all of our customers. And we're doing national advertising, local advertising. You get 200 leads. Well, guess what? We don't charge referral fees, and we're not going to charge you any more money for those leads. So we're a partnership together, and we encourage you to say, I'm the Realty.com owner of Vero Beach now. I'm the Realty.com owner of Dallas, Texas. And because of that partnership, it makes it so we work with you to help you get that conversion. And we work with you to advertise. We become your advertising arm. We become your ISA arm for our leads. And we do everything we can to coach you up to make you a converting agent. But you got to have runway. You got to be like, okay, this is 6 to 9 months. Agents are, it's hard. People aren't going to pick up the phone. People are going to yell at me. People are going to say, I'm not ready. But if you get 100 leads and you close 5 or 6 of them, that's probably a 6 or 7x ROI. But people don't understand that. They expect to get 100 leads and close 100 deals. That's not how the world works.
Yes. Lance, speaking of, I want you to talk on that, on the partnership. You guys provide a lot more services besides just the leads, right? You guys do a lot of coaching. You guys do a lot of the ISA work, right? I'd be curious. Tell the audience a bit about that.
Yeah. So when you buy a city with us, you get full display on all the listings in your area. Plus, you get cash off the display home valuation display. We use a variety of VMs to give a full home valuation report. And then we basically not only partner with you in that area, but we do local advertising between Google and Bing. We have about 30 million index pages. And then we do local advertising in your area. We do national advertising. And additionally, other than driving the traffic, we have a team of coaches, led by former success coaches, Tom Ferry coaches. We've got people, former Zillow coaches, Realtor.com coaches. So we tried taking some of the best coaches from all over the industry and brought them onto your Realty.com platform. So if you need help with seller coaching, you can speak to Chris Craddock, who's an expert in sellers, who's converted over 200 cash offer leads in the last year and a half. Or you need a phone psychological coaching. We have that. An ISA coaching, we have that. So we have all different coaches that can work with you. And when they work with you and your team. And basically they'll follow up every week with your team and track what you're doing with your team. And then on top of that, when you get each lead, we have something called lead assist. They're like an ISA, but a little different. We say speed to leads on the agent, and we come in right behind you. And with 100% Texas-based ISAs, they come, they call the lead, they ask them 8 qualifying questions. Customer raises their hand, say, I'm ready to either get an offer on my home, list my home, or I want to go look at a home or get pre-qualified. We end up transferring it to you. You pick up the phone, and then the lead is yours from there. We integrate into every CRM, whether you're a Follow Up Boss, KV Core, Sync, Chime, whatever, Lofty, whatever CRM you guys have, we fully integrate into that. So, and then if it's, even Verivity, all the CRMs we integrate directly into. So that's another thing we do. And then as we grow, you grow with us. That's why I said earlier in the calls, the more Realty grows, the more you guys grow, and the more customers on the platform, the bigger presence you have. This is the first time there's ever been a national real estate portal where you can basically buy a piece of it.
Wow. So I'm super curious on the growth side, right? Because you guys segment by territory, right? You guys are limiting the amount of customers that you could possibly take on. Tell me about the customer journey, how they continue to grow with you so that you guys can grow your business, but the agent can grow theirs as well.
So there's 2 great ways to look at that. The first one is when a contract expires, you can either do a 9-month or a 1-year contract with us. And when the contract expires, basically, it says that we have the ability to raise the price at our discretion 15% year over year. So far, we've never done a price raise on anyone. So that's one way to help protect our growth. Another way is that there's always going to be a certain number of agents that just don't get it, that it just doesn't work out. They don't pick up the phone. They have life issues. They need to move, whatever it is. So as those cities come up, they'll become available, and then that'll be another way that we grow. So if a city, say, was 2,500 in 2023 or 24, it might have been doing 100 leads a month. In 2025 or 2026, it could be doing 500-600 leads a month. So that city now will be, let's say, $5,000 to $10,000 a month, and things like that. So there's room for us to grow, even with between natural churn and basically just basic churn of the customer. Just life issues is a good way to put it.
Where do you guys generate the traffic from? Is it coming from people who just visit Realty.com? Where does the traffic come from?
Yeah, a lot of it's natural people who visit Realty.com. We have what we call publishers and affiliate network, where we look for people looking to sell their home or to get cash offers on their home. So if you're looking for seller leads, we're about 80% buyers, 20% sellers. And then with that said, it's a heavy push of any place we can advertise, we're going to advertise. I'm working on billboards right now. We've got some TV ads out right now. We're working, we do heavy online advertising. Anywhere we can be like, are you looking to buy or sell a home? Or are you looking to find a home, find a loan because you could partner with a lender with Realty.com? We will advertise there.
I'm curious, and Lance, this might not be y'all's sort of cup of tea, and that's okay. I'm just curious. Do you guys do anything on the REI side, or is it primarily residential?
We are eventually going to go into it, but right now we're primarily residential. But
okay.
there are leads like that to just flow through, and they go to the agents, and we've got a couple under contract right now.
So with Sphere Rocket, right? I know that our podcast today, or webinar, whatever we're calling it, right, is how to grow your business by 20% or more using Realty.com, right? With Sphere Rocket, we have 2 different types of clients with us who are in real estate, at least, right? We have the new guy, right, who's really just starting their career. Maybe they're at the 12 transactions a year, et cetera, right? But we also have the Veronica Figueroas of the world who are crushing it, right? Talk to me about both perspectives. If somebody was on the newer side and they're trying to grow the business, how do they start with you? And then someone who's established, who's crushing the game, how do they grow with you as well?
Definitely. So small ones, we love the smaller clients. We say, I really love, like I said earlier, husband and wife teams. We have a lot of them. Chris Bear's another great example. We support his whole team in Central Florida. I think he owns Vero, actually.
Does he?
Yeah, I think he's our Vero agent, and it's his husband, another husband-wife team. And we say that just, if you're a small team looking to grow with us, or even if you're a single agent, we could start all the way as low as $500 a month. Our top agents pay between $20,000 and $40,000 a month. And when you start with a small one, we'll coach you. We'll give you best lead practices. We'll spend the time with you. You go through onboarding with us, and we tell you just pick up the phone and call the leads. Every person is a human being. No lead is a bad lead, because there's always a chance they're going to transact. Build relationships, build rapport, be friendly, but don't always go to be like, hey, are you ready to put an offer on this house today? Hey, are you ready to list with me? Because that's how you get cursed out and hung out on. So it's all about building relationships. And if you can build the relationships for that small team, you're going to grow. And with us, you usually get more leads than we tell you in your contract. So we usually over deliver in most areas. We're pretty conservative. So you build your team off it, whether you're with EXP or Real or any of the other areas where you can build a team or build a downline. You can use our leads to recruit. And then you just got to make sure the people that work these leads that you give them to, they still have accountability for them. I know I was just talking to an agent yesterday, and what he's doing is he's giving 10 or 15, he's getting about 40 leads a month from us, and he's taking buckets of 10 or 15 leads that aren't sellers. He keeps the sellers for himself, and he's taking his buyers, and he's giving about 10 or 15 away to random agents that he knows produce, that did between 1 and 5 deals last year. He's saying, here's 15 leads. If you close any of them, give me a referral. If you want more, join my team. So he's using them to recruit. He's using them to prospect. He's using them for a variety of different things, because even though, he's paying, say, $6,000 a month with us, he's like, I make money on my sellers. I use the buyers to build my team. And I know another agent does that too.
That's such a nugget there, Lance. That's we have so many team owners, right, in our group, and they're trying to figure out that secret sauce. They're trying to figure out the magic to grow teams, right? And like anything else, it comes from sales, it comes from talking to people, et cetera. But I love that tripwire. Can you dive into that a little bit too?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So basically what that said is that when they're looking to grow their teams, imagine you've got hundreds and hundreds of leads. It's a no-brainer that if you're making money and you're converting them, but you're overflowed, recruit, because most agents don't have hundreds of leads coming in. We've got someone in Sacramento right now. I'm working with him pretty closely. It's Steve and Kelly McCarthy, once again, husband and wife team, and they're getting 500 leads a month from us, and they've got a small team, and it's just recruit. And if you're not on a team and you're listening to this in Sacramento, you should give them a call, because they've got 500-600 leads a month coming in right now, and they need quality agents to work on.
Gosh, guys, if y'all are listening to this and you are ever looking for a virtual assistant to help with recruiting, again, my background is in building sales orgs. Over the last 5 years, I've placed roughly 3,000 remote salespeople across orgs, right? I believe that one of the most underutilized positions that I've seen through SphereRocket is using a virtual assistant to help on the recruitment side, right? It would be so easy with what Lance is saying to use a virtual assistant recruiter to go into LinkedIn, to go into your sales navigator, target agents who aren't getting lead flow, and say, hey, I have an abundance of leads because I use Realty.com. Have you ever considered transitioning brokerages? I'm not saying that you have to give that person leads. What I'm saying is you can use that as your tripwire to start the conversation on the recruitment process. Maybe you have a 1% response rate that the virtual assistant is managing, but now you're just taking the final interview to figure out if they're a producer or not. Once you figure out that they're a producer, awesome. You've got an abundance of leads because you're using a service like this to assign to them. That's really cool, Lance.
Yeah, exactly. And then additionally with the mega teams, it's the same thing. The Veronica Figueroas of the world, the Cliff Freemans of the world, the Spring Bensons of the world. They use this too for recruiting. They use this to fill their pipeline. And then even people who are on flex teams, we get the lead about 2 weeks usually before flex. So we start warming up the lead before flex, and then additionally on top of that, we're in front of flex. So there's no referral fees. So if you're on a referral-based one right now, we're not 40%, we're not 50%, we're not 35%. We have no referral fees. We have the coaching, the ISA, everything in one package with no extra fees.
With the ISA, you mentioned something, Lance. I'm going to go back to it with the accountability partner, right? I would imagine that if I'm in the lead selling business, the most frequent problem that I would get is the agent who doesn't pick up the phone and they say, the leads aren't converting. Well, what was your activity like on the lead, right? Tell me about the accountability partner that you have.
We just had an agent recently leave, and we talked about this. He said his leads didn't convert, and he said it was our fault. So go and look at his account, and he had 75 warm transfers. How many do you believe he picked up?
I would venture to say 0.
6. And he could be watching this now, and I'm okay with it. And I asked him, I'm like, you're getting like 5, 6, 7, 8 transfers a week. Why don't you pick up the phone? He's like, I'm not a call center. That's not my job.
Oh my gosh, that's your only job.
Yeah, that's not my job. And I was just shocked. So it was just amazing that he's paying $5,000 a month. He was getting warm transfers at under $100 a piece because his area was just that hot. And he basically just didn't want to pick up the phone. And it was just amazing because I'm like, what are we going to do? Like, we can't go show the home for you. Like, we can bring you the customer hot, but we can't close the deal for you. If we could close the deal for you, we do it, but we can't.
If you could close the deal for him, you probably would just take the deal too. You probably wouldn't sell the lead, right? Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'll work it front to back.
We have about 6 months ago, we had about 40% pickup rate on warm transfers, and the coaches really been nailing our customers hard. We now have about 75% pickup rate on our warm transfers, which is great. It's still, I'd love to see 80 to 90%. So every time someone misses a transfer, they get an email from us that says, you missed this transfer. Here's what it's about. Cool. Here's the price point. Here's all that. And then, if they request the call, we can send them the call. And then, on top of that, we tell them, it's like, you're missing calls. This is killing your conversion.
Wow, that's really cool. That's the piece that so many people are missing, right? In Q3 and Q4, me and my sales team, we talk about this all the time, right? Our number one hire is a client care rep, right? I know that it's not possible for anybody to answer 100% of their calls, right? Can you be at 8 of 76, like you mentioned with one guy? Like, that's probably not acceptable, right? But can you be at 70? And the way that you're going to get the difference of that 30%, right, is if you are at a showing, right? If you are working with another client and you miss that call, right, you could patch it very easily to a customer care rep, right, who can just take on that warm transfer for you guys and then give you the information. So as soon as your call is done, you can get back to them. Guys, I can use this example firsthand, Lance. I hope you don't mind. Yeah. But I'm in the middle of buying a house right now, right? The first handful of agents that I called would not call me back. You'd be shocked.
No agents answer the phone. No.
You'd be shocked at how many insurance agents I called. I'm like, guys, I just bought a house. I need to buy insurance. Like, will you call me back? No, I'm not calling you.
I'll let you go one with you. I did a $3.5 million showing request in San Antonio a couple of weeks ago, and the agent declined the showing and gave no reason, and then didn't pick up the phone.
That's insane.
Yeah,
it's insane. As a sales director, that makes me want to puke. I'm sure as a lead provider, that makes me want to puke.
If you're in Vero Beach, I'm sure the Bear team will answer the phone. They are.
That's right. That's right. I need to take note of that now. Now that I know you, Lance, we can. But absolutely. So, Lance, we're coming up on about a half hour here. I typically go for a half hour on these calls. If you can leave any of our clients with sort of some final thoughts, right? How to increase their production by 20%. What's the biggest nugget that they could take away with Realty.com for 20%?
Well, from my personal advice right now, it'd be with you guys actually. Take your database, get with Sphere Rocket, have them warm it up. Go over your entire database, work with them, and have them warm up your database right now. Because you got people that have been sitting around for 18 months that are ready to buy. They're just waiting for you to call them. Ready to buy, ready to sell. That's going to be your 2020 before bump. Just go through your old leads, go through your old database, go through your old contacts. And if you got some sellers where you think they look good, they were looking to sell last year, work with Homeward, work with Open Door, work with OfferPad. Go get a cash offer on that home, especially Homeward. Go get a preliminary cash offer. Go knock on the door and say, I got an offer on your home. So, and then if you'd like to know more about Realty.com, you could go to Realty.com/rocket, fill out a form there. Someone from my team will get in touch with you. And we'll let you know if your city's available. Once again, with Realty.com/rocket. And on the Facebook Live, I put the link in the chat.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks a ton for that, Lance. And guys, if you have any questions about realty.com and I can connect you with Lance, please feel free to message me as well. Message me in your Slack channels, message Angelo in the IST. Feel free to reach out, guys, and I can get you connected with Lance's team. So Lance, really appreciate the relationship. Excited to grow a relationship with you guys. We are having an internal event in Tennessee at mid-March, end of March. I know I told you I'd connect you with Tori. She could tell you the exact dates. But if you guys want to come up there as well, might be a good place for us to continue the relationship and continue going from there.
No problem. Count us there. So is it Nashville?
It's in Nashville. Yep.
This will be probably Donnie's third time in Nashville in a month.
Where's Donnie based out
of? He's in Ohio.
Okay. So I know he's on the road. He messaged me today and says he's on the road. So cool. Lance, thanks so much for the time today. Guys, definitely reach out to Realty.com. They have an excellent service. You know that we wouldn't recommend it at Sphere Rocket if it wasn't an excellent service. And looking forward to continuing the relationship, Lance.
All right, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great day, everyone.
You too. See you guys.
Thanks.